I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I'm James Brown, and on behalf of the Eastern Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to today's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, please go to the book of Matthew, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Dieselkamp for our study of the day.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the third lesson in our study of Matthew. Yesterday, we studied about the introduction to the book of Matthew. If you missed that episode, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on multiple platforms by going to one of the different sites listed below. Today we're going to begin with our verse-by-verse study of Matthew, starting at Matthew 1 verse 1 and reading through verse 17. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the New King James Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So let's now read Matthew 1, beginning at verse 1. The book of the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac, Isaac begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Judah and his brothers. Judah begot Perez and Zerah by Tamar. Perez begot Hezron, and Hezron begot Ram. Ram begot Amminadab, and Amminadab begot Nahshon. Nahshon begot Salmon. Salmon begot Boaz by Rahab. Boaz begot Obed by Ruth. Obed begot Jesse, and Jesse begot David the king. David the king begot Solomon of her who had been the wife of Uriah. Solomon begot Rehoboam. Rehoboam begat Abijah, and Abijah begat Asa. Asa begat Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat begat Joram, and Joram begat Uzziah. Uzziah begot Jotham. Jotham begot Ahaz, and Ahaz begot Hezekiah. Hezekiah begot Manasseh. Manasseh begot Ammon, and Ammon begot Josiah. Josiah begot Jeconiah and his brothers about the time that they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconiah begot Shealtiel, and Shealtiel begot Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel begot Abiad, and Abiad begot Eliakim, and Eliakim begot Azor, and Azor begot Zadok, and Zadok begot Achim, and Achim begot Eliad, and Eliad begot Eleazar, and Eleazar begot Mathan, and Mathan begot Jacob. And Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. From David until the captivity in Babylon are 14 generations. And from the captivity in Babylon until Christ are 14 generations. The book of Matthew begins in a way that is scary to many people today, with a list of names. Matthew, though, began his gospel this way in order to convince us and the Jews that Jesus was not only of the seed of Abraham, but also of the seed of David. If he wasn't from both, Jesus wouldn't be the Christ, the Messiah, the Anointed One. The first 5 names in this list, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Judah, and Perez, we met in our study of Genesis. Abraham was the father of the Jews, and in Genesis 12, God promised Abraham that it would be through his seed that all the nations of the world would be blessed through the Messiah. Abraham's son Isaac had Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons, one of whom was Judah. And Judah had 5 sons in total, one of whom was Perez, who was born to him by Tamar, Judah's daughter-in-law. The next set of names we will read of in the books of Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, and Ruth. The 2 women mentioned in this section, Rahab and Ruth, both play major roles in the history of Israel, and Ruth even has a book in the Old Testament that tells her story. Once we get to David, we start into the history of the kings. In 1 Samuel, we find that David was anointed the second king over Israel, and it would be through his line that all future kings from Judah would be from. In 2 Samuel 7, 12, and 13, God promises that it would be through the seed of David that the Messiah would come, who would rule on the throne of David forever. Many are still looking for this king, not realizing that Jesus rules over his kingdom, the church today, on this throne, a spiritual throne located in heaven. Among David's sons, who would be kings, some would be righteous, while others would be wicked. Among the more famous righteous kings after David would be Hezekiah and Josiah. Following the reign of Josiah, the children of Israel were carried off into captivity during the days of Jeconiah, or as the Old Testament identifies him as Jehoiachin. Jeremiah had prophesied in Jeremiah 22:30 that none of Jehoiachin's descendants would sit on the throne of David again, which in fact comes to pass, for once they returned from captivity, they never again had a king rule over them from the house of David. However, the royal line continued through Jehoiachin's children all the way down to the time of Jesus. The prophecy of Jeremiah had nothing to do with a spiritual kingdom, only a physical kingdom, hence why Jesus still can be king, yet not contradict this prophecy. Before we close, I'd like to quickly deal with a problem many people have, namely the differences between this genealogy and the one in Luke. The major difference between the two is the section between David and Jesus. There have been many proposed solutions, one being that one gospel presents Jesus' lineage through Mary, while the other presents it through Joseph. Another solution is that perhaps Joseph was the legal son of Heli, as he is in Luke, but the actual son of Jacob, following the custom of levirate marriages that we saw in Genesis 38 and will read of in the book of Ruth. Whatever is the true solution, we should note that none of the enemies of Jesus challenged these genealogies in the first century, so we should have confidence that they are accurate. We'll conclude our thoughts on these genealogies, Lord willing, tomorrow. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, Lord willing, tomorrow when we will continue our study of Matthew, beginning with Matthew 1:18.
Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have a question or comment, please leave it below or email it to answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you'll join us, Lord's willing, tomorrow when we will be continuing on our study in the book of Matthew. Goodbye for now and have a great day.
I'm not ashamed to own